Meyoncé, just sit here in the video. Just sit here, okay? Hi guys, it's me, Shifani, and I didn't think I would make this video, to be honest, but I thought that it's important to kind of talk about like how completely fucked up this year has been. Why should I share that with you? Because this isn't really about this year in particular, it's about depression and anxiety. 2019 has been a really fucked up year, I think, for a lot of people. Like, I don't know, at least in Sri Lanka, with the Easter attacks and with the elections drama, and generally with the way things are going in the world. Okay, no, that's not what this video is about. I think I've always had strands of depression since I was like about 14 or 15. This year, everything kind of got really exacerbated, and I kind of had a bit of a meltdown, and I wanted to kill myself. I am sharing this because it's not normally something anyone would want to share, but because I felt so lonely during this time. I just felt like I was speaking a foreign language and no one could understand me, and that was such a lonely feeling that that's really why I thought I'd share it, like, so that other people going through it know that you're actually not the only freak. I mean, that's what I called myself. I got help. I told my family, like some of my family people, and even they couldn't fully understand it really, like even the closest people to me. And that's not a fault really, I don't know, it's just how most people are today, especially in Sri Lanka. Like, there's very little talk about mental health or like whatever. Anyway, fuck. I called my mom and I was like, I can't move, I can't do anything, I can't function. I don't want to function and I don't want to be here. And then I think one of the main reasons, like, yeah, when everything kind of hit, like shit hit the fan this year with me, like where I kind of broke down, burnt out, or whatever you want to call it. Oh my god, my cat is literally trying to disassemble the lights here. Silly cat. Come here. Okay. So, what I was saying was that it was a really lonely hole to be in. And what? Tripping out, dude. She's on the fucking camera, seriously. Meyoncé, I'm trying to have a serious, like, she doesn't respect this. She doesn't respect anything I do. It was like a rabbit hole I fell into. I didn't want to work, I didn't want to talk to people, I didn't want to meet anybody. And I was constantly anxious and depressed, and always kind of, can you stop it? And always, come, stop it, calm down, my little kitty. Okay, so yeah, I was really um, down in the dumps, and I felt like literally like I was like I can't get up in the morning at all. And this was really like, it was like messed up because I was in the middle of work projects and social like obligations, like things that I'd promised to do and stuff like that. And then suddenly it was like boom, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to. I felt like I couldn't move, and which is really weird for me because I'm usually a very anyone who knows me knows that I'm very kind of active. I'm talkative, and I want to do stuff, like I'm very passionate about work and things like that. Suddenly it was just like everything that I was usually known for was gone, kind of thing. And I felt, but I had to hide it as well from other people. I just couldn't kind of get it together. And so I mean, I don't want to get into the details of it, like such a long story, but like the gist of this is that it was extremely fucked up. Like I didn't want to eat anymore, all the symptoms, and I was extremely riddled with anxiety, and I would have panic attacks. I'd lie down and not be able to stop crying or shaking. Every day felt like a struggle, like just dragging your way through it. And I didn't want to anymore. I just flat out was like, I don't want to be alive. And I had a knife to my hand and things like that, but I obviously didn't do anything. And I don't know how else to talk about that. It's just like, it is what it is. And it was bizarre. It was just, I'm saying was because not that I'm completely over it or whatever, but I'm able to look back on that, and every day feels like okay, cool, I got past it, I'm getting out of it. So I'm like trying to get myself out of it slowly. I mean, in the sense that as far as you could with such a thing, where you just figure out a way to function, and Meyoncé, come here. Come here, silly cat. So, I just wanted to figure out a way to function. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get my way back to where I wanted, where I was and where I want to be again. And learning about self-care in the process, and learning about, myself really, and like the needs that I have, which is like, for example, I guess more off-screen time, which I feel like now I need to help myself, get better, and more time with family and things like that. Whatever that you find out in this process of, what am I even trying to say here? I guess what I'm trying to say is I fell apart, and it felt like I was in a strange cave on my own. And even though I was surrounded by people who could understand such concepts, like, I mean, mental health is not exactly a new topic. There's lots of information and TV shows and things like that around us, like we are talking about it, but still. And then I kind of expected everybody to kind of understand certain things, but it was really a lonely kind of trip. Like some people may be able to kind of understand, but nobody would really understand what you personally are. Like every person who goes through it, it's like a different thing too. And then you feel like, I at least feel like I'm inside the ocean, and there's so much of water between me and everyone else. and so when we speak to each other, it just comes out as bubbles in between, and you can't really hear the other person. Like, that's how it felt to me. Like, I couldn't really be heard or hear or convey. So, and it is so lonely, and like being in a vacuum sometimes, and feeling like, how do I get out of this? Like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. I tried therapy, and that has really helped. Like, it didn't stop anything, but it kind of prepares and gives you a feeling that you might find a way out of the hell part of it, at least. And then I even tried some medication, which worked, a certain type that worked for some people, but for me it had a bad effect. So whatever, I just kind of, that's a long story. I can't even. But the point is, like, I felt so alone in that process that I wanted to, like, I wish that somebody, that more people around me would just be like, that it was a topic that was talked about more, and that I didn't feel like I was the only one. Because when I talked to people, I kind of figured that a lot of people around us, a lot of people out there, people watching this, are struggling with depression and anxiety and feeling like shit and wanting to kill yourself. And everyone is like ashamed though to talk about it and say it and admit it and say, like, I need help with this. And because it just feels like a weakness, like admitting to a weakness, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my cat who's climbing the light again. Let's not be embarrassed about it, that life sucks sometimes. Life feels like it's shit sometimes, or you feel like it's not working, or you feel like you don't want to be here. Mental health, that's a health issue. It's, for whatever reason, whether thoughts in your mind, or repetitive patterns, or trauma, or stress, or any of these things can exacerbate your health. And it's okay. It's okay if you're feeling off. We are all kind of ashamed when it happens, and don't listen to people when they make you feel like you're small, or you're really fucked up, or you're such a freak or anything. Don't listen to them. A lot more people than you think are going through it. Yeah, I hope you get through it, and I'm also trying to, because it's so common. We don't have to act like it's just a few people and they're all like nuts, and like, let's make fun of them and things like that, and say things like, people are doing it for attention, or people are doing it, they're just making shit up, they're just flaking, they're, it's not legit. And the suspicion, like, is mental health even a thing, kind of thing. Don't listen to them. Like, a lot of them are also going through stuff, and we're all just pretending. So I guess that was the point. Let's just admit it. It's no big deal.